Every Wednesday we go out between recess and lunch, so for 2 hours on a walk. So Walking Wednesday is a program I started about 6 years ago, initially just to get kids outside and more active. We live in a beautiful community and a small community, and I just wanted them to be able to walk and explore it. We have a forest, we have a lake, and let's take advantage of that.
We come to the Enchanted Forest to build and learn and have fun. Sometimes we have exploring time, and sometimes we have stuff to do. Sometimes we do journals and stuff, but I like it the most because my two favorite parts of it are that I get to build stuff and be creative. That's my favorite thing to do. I also like to be able to explore.
Any other changes?
On the middle of our path, I saw a couple of white flowers. Yeah.
At the beginning of the year, they each chose a tree, which we call our thinking trees. It's kind of like their desk, but their place to go when we're out here, when they need to focus. And sometimes it's a structured activity. Sometimes it's write in your nature notebooks, but I don't structure the activity. And other times it's spend 10 minutes at your tree.
I talk to my tree sometimes, and sometimes I sit by it. I write in my journal about it. I put my paper on there and rubbed with the part of my pencil, like the side. This was the pencil, and it made a really cool picture. And I read a sentence, and it said, "I think my picture looks good."
With their thinking trees, that is their spot to go and be quiet. Sometimes it's a challenge because they want to share all the things they're finding, especially as the seasons change. But it does become kind of a safe place that they identify with, so that allows them to sit and kind of focus.
My thinking tree helps me think, and it's really nice because it hugs me sometimes when I feel sad.
I think when they come outside, they're more engaged, and a lot of their activities is also driven by them. So I'll come out and I'll have our idea and I'll have our focus, and sometimes it might be on a specific curricular area or a specific subject. But then when you're outside, I can't script everything that's going to happen, and so sometimes the kids will find something, or something happens, or we connect to something that happened in the past. You take advantage of those different opportunities. And I definitely find the focus changes. So some of the students who in the classroom don't want to put things down on paper will do it out here without me actually even asking. And so I think they just feel more connected. They feel safe, they feel very relaxed. You don't feel as tired, and so it ends up engaging everybody. And everybody becomes the teacher. I mean, there's all sorts of different ways we can use the forest, but I don't want us to have a huge negative impact on it. Obviously, there's trails. I think most were created by the deer, but we follow them. And there are times we might collect for learning, but I don't think we need to come through and pull up every plant. And so I try to teach them that we are in another animal's home. And we see that the more we come out, the more they see either the actual animals or most often the clues. We see droppings, we see the holes. I think if they start to learn that early, there's all different choices, because there's times we might come in and cut down trees for firewood or other uses. But there's other times when it's good to know that we're the visitors and to just observe, because you see things very differently when we're observing, and to treat things respectfully and be aware of what we're doing when we're out.
Never kill the greenish leaves, because they have to grow. They can turn into flowers. This is the Oregon grape, and it's going to have berries. You can eat the berries. Right now it's very soft, the leaf, but sooner when it gets older and older, it's going to be pokey. And it'll change colors. I like to find different animals around my tree. I found slugs, snails, chipmunks, and a little squirrel. When we're going to Eagle Creek, we saw a bear. And I said, hey, I want to draw in my journal. And I did that, and I wrote a picture, and my whole class was there. And I said, ah, bear.
So we've definitely noticed, even simple as endurance, they can walk a lot farther than what we started initially. Definitely in terms of their observations and what they notice outside has changed, because they've made certain connections to plants and then they notice more. And when we come back in the classroom, I find that Wednesday afternoons are very calm, and it's quite a nice time for teaching because there is a different sort of atmosphere in the classroom, even back inside. We usually have the quiet reading after lunch, but they're also now allowed to take out their nature journals and continue reflecting, because sometimes they're so busy seeing everything out here they don't get the chance to reflect, but they still want to do that piece. And it's amazing how quiet and focused they can often be on those days. One of the other things I find really valuable about it is that with the multi-grade, it's something that I find out here, it seems to be a much smoother transition. Doesn't matter if they're kindergarten, beginner readers, not yet writing, or even being up into the older grades and able to write big long stories, that they all seem to be engaged out here at the same time. And they have different interests and different things they gravitate a bit more to, but it feels like you can meet everybody's needs within that same time. And the curriculum, we've been able to cover all different subject areas, and it's not what my intent when I started it was to do some, a bit of fitness and, let's attach some of the science and nature, play some games and that, but it's just grown to language arts, math, social studies, technology, and that's been really neat to see.
Learning in the wild, I think, is fun because you can explore and learn more and discover stuff yourself.